Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, I've got a romance book haul from Book Outlet for you. It is February, a month that is often quite focused on love and romance is a genre that I've been really diving into, and Book Outlet, it turns out, has a whole bunch of fantastic romance novels available to purchase. So I thought that this would be the perfect time to buy myself a bunch of new romance books and unbox them for you here on this video. This video is sponsored by Book Outlet. I'm one of their vlogger friends, which means that I get to select some books to purchase from their website, and then you can use the link down below to shop all of my picks. I have a special vlogger friend page set up, and it'll have links to all of the books that I share in this video and books that I've shared in previous videos. So if you guys are interested in any of these titles, they have really amazing prices. A lot of the romances in particular were somewhere between like $2.50 and $5 depending on the size of the book, but for like smaller mass market paperbacks, a lot of them are like under $3. Definitely recommend if you're looking for a place to get inexpensive books. I am a longtime fan of Book Outlet, and so I was thrilled when they reached out to me about working with them. That said, let's open my giant box of books. I think there might be like a couple things in here that aren't romance centric, but the vast majority of it is. And I think all of the things I'm going to show you in this box came out to like $60, around that, which is pretty amazing because I got a lot of stuff. Whew, boy. Okay, so there we have it. Giant box of books with paper. And see, the only thing that's a little unfortunate is they used to put the prices on the invoices and now they don't, but that's okay. All right. Woo, yeah. Okay, let's open these up and I'll show you everything I got. Okay, first up, this I feel like I've heard somebody talk about and it just sounded really interesting. This is Thorn by Katherine Harbour. So I think this is kind of like a dark romantic suspense. Maybe it's YA. It's an interesting size book. Okay, so it says it is a modern retelling of the ancient Scottish ballad of Tam Lin, a beguiling fusion of love, fantasy, and myth, vividly imagined and steeped in Gothic atmosphere. I mean, all of that just sounds phenomenal. This, I guess, is probably not YA. It was done by Harper Voyagers, and I tend to like a lot of stuff that they publish, so I'm really excited to check this out. So this was the first book I picked up. Then I saw that they had a book by this author that so many people love, and I've never tried, and people keep recommending her to me, so I decided to grab one of her books. This is First and Then by Emma Mills. It says that this is Pride and Prejudice meets Friday Night Lights in this contemporary novel about falling in love. She writes YA contemporary romances for the most part, and I've heard fantastic things about her books. I know a lot of people love her covers. Most of them have never really appealed to me all that much, but I hear such amazing things. I hear that the friendships and the romances in this are really good and the characterization is really good, so I decided to pick up one of her books. In fact, I know some of you guys have recommended that I try her books, so here you go. I now have one on my TBR shelf. We will give her a try. Okay, next up we have The Scandal in Kissing an Heir by Sophie Barnes. One kiss can lead to happily ever after. This is from Avon Books. I have not read Sophie Barnes, but I really liked the cover and I thought that the premise of this one sounded really interesting. It's about a woman who's determined to find a husband on her own rather than marry aging suitors who are trying to get her because she doesn't really have money, and a notorious marquess who needs a wife but needs to find a woman who will look beyond his past. So yeah, I thought that would be fun. Then we have Lady Claire is All That by Maya Rodale. I really like Maya Rodale. I've read one of her other books and really enjoyed it, and this one sounded like fun too. She writes historical romances set in New York's Gilded Age, and they're fun and funny and feminist and have like a modern sort of sensibility to them. The one of hers I really loved, and this one sounded right up my alley because the main female character is a nerdy mathematician. she has like wonderful nerdy heroines and I am all about it. You know, I love a good nerdy romance, so this seemed like a perfect pick. Then I decided to go ahead and grab a hardcover copy of one of the newer Changeling novels by Nalini Singh. This is Silver Silence. If you guys have been following my channel, you might know that I recently have started getting into the Changeling series. I'm about to start book 4 as I'm filming this, and I've been really loving them, so I expect I will continue to like them, and they had this for pretty inexpensive on Book Outlet. I think they had another one too, but I decided to just grab this one. Then I just love the cover of this book. This is Dawn at Emberwilde by Sarah Ladd. Treasures of Surrey novel. This is so beautiful. Like, doesn't this have like a magical feeling to it? This is another historical romance that sounded really interesting to me. It says, Isabel Creston never dared to dream that love could be hers. Now at the edge of a forest filled with dark secrets, she faces a fateful choice between love and duty. And her character just sounds really interesting based on the description in the back of the book, and it looks like there's a labyrinth of intrigue and hidden motives, which I'm always a fan of, so this sounded really great. Then, because it was really inexpensive on Book Outlet, I decided to pick up a book that I know is very popular, even though this is not normally my cup of tea. I thought, you know, maybe I should give it a try. This is Intercepted by Alexa Martin. I know a lot of my friends liked this book a lot and like her for her sports romances. I am not a sports fan and generally have stayed away from sports romances, but I was like, you know, maybe I would like this more than I think I would. This one is about a woman who had been the girlfriend of an NFL football player and finds out he's been cheating on her and just like vows to never date a football player again, but then starts catching feelings for a NFL quarterback. So I don't know, like I don't know if I will like this or not, but I know so many people like this and think it's really funny and the character work is really good, so I have this. We'll see. All right, we're gonna try to do this in between construction that's happening in the apartment above me because it is so loud. Okay, so the next book that I picked up is a book by an author I recently read from and really enjoyed, so I wanted to try something else from her. This is From Duke Till Dawn by Eva Leigh. I recently read My Fake Rake by her and really enjoyed it, so I thought I would try something else, and Book Outlet had a book by her. This is another historical romance set in London, and the main character is a woman who grew up as a pickpocket and is a con artist, but gets caught by her Mark, who is a British noble, so this looks like fun. I also picked up The Accidental Beauty Queen by Teri Wilson. This, I think, is kind of a mix of women's fiction, like chick lit, and romance, but it sounded really funny. It's about a woman who is the twin of a beauty queen, and she's more of kind of like a nerdy wallflower type character, but when her twin sister has a major allergic reaction and can't compete, she has to try to take her sister's place. The reviews for this look really great, and it sounded like a whole lot of fun. I like romantic comedies, and this sounds like one, so I grabbed that. Then I decided to try another new author. My friend Amanda over at The Naughty Librarian really likes this author. This is Chasing Christmas Eve by Jill Shalvis. She writes adult contemporary romances that are supposed to be really good, but I haven't really tried her before. This one is a holiday romance that just looked really cute. Then I picked up The Matchmakers List by Sonya Lalli. Look at this cover, guys. This cover is so pretty. I kind of love it, and this just sounded really interesting. It says, one devoted modern woman plus one meddlesome traditional grandmother equals a heartwarming multicultural romantic comedy about finding love where you least expect it. Everything about this just calls to me. I feel like this is going to be fun. Romantic comedies for contemporaries are probably my favorite, and I love multicultural stuff. This is about a woman whose family are immigrants from India. I just think it's going to be really great, and the reviews looked good too. I looked up the reviews on all of these books before I added them to my cart because there were so many to pick from, so I tried to pick ones that sounded up my alley. You can't tell, I do really enjoy historical romances particularly. The next one is Indiscreet by Mary Balogh. I have not read anything by her. I know that she is a big voice in historical romance, and I think this is a new edition of one of her older romances. Yeah, so this was originally published in the 1990s, so it's a little bit of an older one, but I've been wanting to try something by her, and this one sounded good. It's about a noble who falls in love with a woman and asks her to be his mistress, and she refuses, and so things go from there. So this just sounded really interesting. Next up, we have a new adult romance, which is not something I've read a whole lot in. This is Make It Count by Megan Erickson. This one is set in college and has nerdy characters, and it sounds like it would just kind of be a whole lot of fun. It does sound like it has a bit of a cheating plotline, which I don't always love, but given like the age and the type of book that it is, I think it might still work out okay for me. So yeah, this just kind of sounded appealing to me. This girl falling for her new math tutor, I don't know, it just sounds like fun, so I picked that up too. Then there's one that's been kind of on my radar for a while and just sounds interesting. This is The Romance Reader's Guide to Life by Sharon Pywell. I love the cover of this, and it says, a bond between two sisters, a murder, a bodice-ripping pirate romance, and a cross-dressing talking dog. Like, this is just kind of an interesting mashup of things. It says it's post-World War II, and it follows two sisters, a woman who's a beauty who kind of juggles men, and her sister who is a bookworm who reads romances, and them kind of making their way in life. I don't know, this sounds really entertaining and interesting, so thought I would grab a copy. And then finally, I have two books that are not romance-centric to tack on at the end here, but I just wanted to pick them up. First up, they had this beautiful little copy of Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I just couldn't not get this. This was one of my all-time favorite books as a child. I reread this so often. I liked some of the other books in the series as well, but this was definitely my favorite, and this was just such a beautiful little edition of it. So I decided to grab it. It was not very expensive, and look how pretty. Then I have one other book to share. Excuse me if it's slightly noisy. There is construction happening like crazy in the apartment above me, and they're just, I think, not gonna stop. So we're gonna finish this video out. The last book that I picked up from Book Outlet, I'm really excited to have. This is Naturally Tan by Tan France. He is one of the Fab Five on Queer Eye, which I love. It's a wonderful Netflix show. Everybody loves it. I mean, who doesn't? And all of these guys, most of them have been writing memoirs, which I'm just really curious to pick up and give a try to. So yeah, really excited to have that as well. So there you have it. 16 new books from Book Outlet, almost entirely romance, all for under $60. Yeah, so definitely go check some of these out if any of them seem interesting to you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to me in the comments down below and let me know what your favorite types of romance to read are. I definitely like historical romance. I like romantic comedies for contemporaries. I have like kind of specific taste I'm finding in the romance genre, and everybody is just so different. So for your question of the day, let me know what is your favorite kind of romance to read, and you can take that however you like. Again, all of these should be available through the link down below in the video description that'll take you to my vlogger friend page where I purchase these for really cheap on Book Outlet, so if any of them caught your interest, please feel free to check that out. It also lets them know that you're coming from me and that you watched this video and that brought you there, which helps me out and is amazing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this haul. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.